So our final one that we have today as part of the Arnold bracket, gotta go John Wick 4, which is the Sacre Coeur stairwell fight, versus Jackie Chan's police story, in which he's fighting through the mall. This, to me, is super lopsided based on taste, but I still think there's merit. Something in your face tells me you're going to be polar opposite of what I'm saying.
I think it's super obvious which one's better.
Which one do you think is super obviously better?
Police Story.
I am polar opposite.
The John Wick 4 one, I would argue is like even for John Wick, it's ridiculous how far fetched it is.
So that is a problem I have with it.
He's going straight in a maybe 5-foot gap. He's never moving that much.
12 feet.
He's wide.
I like the zigzag. I like going through stuff.
But he's wide out in the open, no cover. He has no headgear on to cover his head. You're telling me a world of top class assassins couldn't just shoot him in the head once? Even for John Wick, it's too far fetched.
So okay, 2023, directed by Chad Stahelski.
There's cool elements of it, but to me it was ridiculous.
Here's the positives. I like the setup of the radio call and trying to get as many people there as possible. Immediately putting, hey, he's got to climb the stairs. So you tell everybody immediately, here's his problem. I love the camera angle work as the shot starts and as it continues, as it's constantly going upward, so you understand the challenge John has to get to his obstacle. That, I think, is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The action is just great John Wick action where he's just shooting people, stabbing people. It's rad. It's John Wick at its finest. That's amazing. I like the environmental use that they have, where it's so limited. That's what I think is really interesting about it. Is I have the same question: how the fuck doesn't he just get shot once? Because there's also a lot of wasted bullets. The thing is, I just watched John Wick 2, 3, and 4 within the last couple days to catch up for this tournament.
Okay.
And the only thing that drove me insane in all of them was, why do you have to double or triple tap when you clearly just killed somebody? Just don't waste the bullets.
Yeah.
There's a couple times even in this where I'm like, you don't have that many bullets.
Yeah.
Why are you triple tapping the guy? Just fucking move. Just get him once and go, John. So that did get me a little bit. I loved how often he would zigzag underneath the railings or go to the trees. I thought that was fun.
Sure.
That was all great. The moment it falls apart for me, where it becomes almost jump the shark for John Wick, is when he gets all the way to the top, and then he gets his ass tossed, and he rolls the entire way down. I was just
all the way to the bottom.
I just went...
That was ridiculous.
To me, that's the moment that I went, I think I have to put this in the play-in section. It can't just be in the tournament.
Yeah. If we're going to talk about Ben-Hur being too long, this is way too long. It just is.
Again, I like the music in it, but yes, it's too long, and it's because you have to do the thing twice. Yeah. I love the idea of it, but the execution of it is not necessarily what I'd like.
It's really fun when Donnie Yen comes and joins them.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
But, it should be half as long.
Oh, you mean when Donnie Yen is Daredevil?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's true.
He's Daredevil with a gun? Yeah. Which is fun.
So that was my problem with it. Even for John Wick, it's
too much?
It's too much. It's way too much.
Okay, then we go to 1985's Police Story, directed by Jackie Chan.
Hey, I didn't know that.
I did know that.
Also, you should watch Police Story 3, because I knew she was in one of them. Police Story 3 is Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that just upped the score of Police Story in general.
And during the filming of it, Jackie Chan saved Michelle Yeoh's life during a stunt. So you have Jackie Chan to thank for her entire career, her entire life.
That's my girl. You know that. So, I mean, she
Yeah.
has an entire division named after her because that's how much I love
Yeah.
Michelle. Yeah.
Well, she was like Jackie Chan's like protege
Nice.
at that time. Yeah.
Here's the thing about Police Story that I find really fun. Hyper stylized, so Asian cinema. This is
Yeah.
so over the top Asian cinema.
Yes.
If you like it, if you like Asian cinema, this is a perfect scene. If it's not your cup of tea, this is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I wrote down some of the stuff it has. It's got pratfalls, you got multiple story drops, you got one-on-one fights, group fights, weapon fights. You got all like the best classic Jackie Chan object work. Like he is the king of object work in his fights.
Yes.
And then you got motorcycles as weapons. Like it's great. It was awesome. It has everything.
So I enjoyed it the second time I watched it. When we were making the seeds or making what could make it in, I watched it and I went, this is fucking absurd. And I'm not crazy about it. The second time I watched it, I went, now I know what it is. Let's just watch it again. It's only 7 minutes or whatever. It was fun. It's just such bullshit. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I'll agree with that.
The thing that takes me out the most is the sound. The sound is horrible.
I don't think you can blame that on the movie though, because I do think it's low budget.
Yes, it's more so the
yeah,
it's the same thing over and over.
You have to consider it's a foreign movie.
Yes.
And it's probably a lower budget foreign movie.
Yes.
So it's not going to have the like Hollywood, like it doesn't have Die Hard level budget.
Well, no shit.
It's going to have a much smaller budget. So I wouldn't blame that on the film.
So here's what I do like. A lot of good character work of he's always trying to save somebody.
Yeah.
He's always trying to help.
He's getting his fucking ass beat all the time.
He should be dead.
Oh yeah. By the end, he should be dead.
There's not a ton of music in this. It's very interstitial, and that I think hurts it a little bit for me. The random motorcycle appearance does throw me off. I know you loved it.
It was so funny when I saw it. I was like, "What is that doing in a mall?"
At the same time, I was like, "Why is there a motorcycle in the fucking mall?" The environmental use here is incredible. Oh, there's a glass case. I'm going to smash your head through it. Oh, there's a glass case. I'm going to kick you through it. Oh, there's a glass case there.
Yeah.
I'm going to you're going to try to do a Rey Mysterio bulldog. I'm going to catch you halfway through and then swing your entire body through a Mattel case, which, by the way, great product placement there. I hope they got some money for that.
Probably not.
They probably didn't. But that is 2025 storytelling at its finest for making money for your picture right there. I'm going to go through product placement for this win. That was all good. The amount of time someone follows a story, at least, was difficult. I'm talking story of distance.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, Jackie Chan, the first fall he has, is ridiculous already.
But you also should understand, he's doing that for real, for one.
Yes.
And he's not, well, for Jackie Chan himself is actually doing that.
That is correct, absolutely.
Because there's like no stunt doubles ever on those movies. And then the YouTube channel I always talk about, Corridor Crew, that do visual effects artists react.
Yeah.
They also have stuntmen come in and do stuntmen react. And they talk about how lax the like Asian cinema rules are, especially back then. And they talk about how like they would have like pads like this thin for the stuntmen to work on. And it'd be like them falling like a story or more. And they're like falling on pads that are like 2 inches thick. And it's like, how is this legal? And they're like, well, they just don't fucking care. So like people like break their like legs, they crack ankles and shit.
The
Like,
fact that Jackie Chan's just getting up after this shit is crazy.
no, exactly. That's why everyone's like amazed that he's still alive. Because it's like he does all his own work. It's amazing.
It's like watching. It's truly like watching a professional wrestler when you watch Jackie Chan, because they have to do the impossible all the time and no one thinks about it. He gets the big spectacle where you're just like, Jesus Christ, and then he just gets up.
I would argue it's way more impressive though because he's also doing his own choreography and choreography for most of the other people in the fight.
In terms of the scene versus scene, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, he is like one of the true masters of martial arts films.
So there's at least 6 times someone falls to another story, or at least half a story in this scene, which is fucking ridiculous. But
yeah,
I understand it's the style.
The only part I didn't like was when the part they play over and over again.
I hate that. I hate it.
The only reason I didn't like it was because that was like one of the less impressive stunts.
And it's the icon shot. And
yeah, I was like, why are you replaying that one? Of all the stunts, that's like one of the lesser impressive ones.
It's certainly something that I think the icon shot is meant to sell. Like,
yeah,
the still image of Jackie Chan sliding down that with all the lights breaking.
Yeah.
A is iconic and B is legit beautiful. It doesn't look good with all the film grain because it was obviously not shot on great film. But it's obviously super cool. The fact that they play it 3 times, to me, cheapens it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And that was another thing that I was like, this is your big moment. And it just falls flat. Or to me, nothing in the fight with John Wick falls flat.
See, I would disagree there.
You've won me over though, because now you've made me focus too much on the jump the shark. Why the fuck does he fall all the way down the stairs?
That's the part I would say fell flat for me. Was like as soon as he started falling.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's true. That falls flat. Where I'm like, what are we doing?
Because I was like, because I didn't really remember that scene much.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's gonna fall a couple. But then when he fell all the way to the bottom, I was like, really? We're doing that?
Yeah.
Because it's like
he kept
in any world, any normal human being would be able to stop themselves. Anyone.
Yeah.
And then if you put like John Wick in that scenario, you'd be like, no, he would be able to stop himself. He's a capable human.
Yeah. Or just roll towards a tree. Do something.
Do something to stop yourself.
Just stop. I assume we're going police story on this one.
That'd be my vote. I was really impressed by it. I am actually going to watch that whole movie now.
I'm not a fan of the style. Not a fan of what they're accomplishing. The thing I felt about it was how I watch bad professional wrestling. Which is, it's part of the reason that John Wick I have a great respect for, but I don't watch that often. And I think is really fun once. And then you gotta go away for a while. Is a mundane shot in John Wick is most movies' finales.
Sure.
When I'm watching Police Story, the amount of glass that is broken, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything on the 3rd time, the 4th time, the 5th time.
Sure.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But it has no impact on me because I'm like, well, you just did that 6 times. You know? It's very much, I look at it pro wrestling. You hit somebody with a chair once, and they look like they're dead. You're like, oh, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
You hit them with it 6 times, and they get back up and do it again. You're like, well, clearly it ain't working, so figure something else out.
Yeah.
And that's to me the Police Story in a nutshell. I'm like, even John Wick, because people at least die, I'm like, all right, fine. You look at it more like one-on-one, just repetitive in different one-on-one scenarios versus Police Story is just like, You can't, like, we punched, we kicked, we went through glass. We punched, we kicked, we went through glass. We punched, we kicked, I was just like, need something a little different here. But I've come around, I'll go Police Story.
Yeah. So I was looking it up. So it's Police Story 3 Super Cop. And
Alright.
it is online, the clip. It's the Malaysian chase.
Okay.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. So
I will gladly give 2 minutes and 30 seconds to my lady Michelle Yeoh.
So yeah, that's the scene that he saved her.
Alrighty, I'm excited to see. So we have 4 move-on winners. So our matchups are set for the round of 64. Interstellar's docking sequence will be taking on the chariot chase of Ben-Hur in the Yo bracket. Batman vs. Superman's Batman warehouse fight scene will be taking on the Burj Khalifa climb from Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol in the Cruise bracket. In the Weaver bracket, Die Hard's roof jump will be taking on truck chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Jackie Chan's Police Story, the mall fight sequence, will be taking on, in the Arnold bracket, the Omaha Beach scene from Saving Private Ryan.